option for either the 22 dropout or the scrum up option. So when we as match officials, whether we're ARing or reffing, we want to be thinking about using a phrase option and point. And once that kick was made, you could tell the referee said, there's the mark. Sometimes referees might ask an AR, hold that mark. As soon as you see a kick that's going long, hold that mark, because we might be coming, they don't say it, because we might be coming back to that mark. I need to know where that mark is. All right, for that scrum up option if the ball goes dead. Okay, so dead could mean over the dead ball line, or it could mean through touch and goal. And I think that's where a lot of people get confused. When it goes touch and goal, it's like, oh, what is that one? And we don't remember, but it's all over the dead ball, over the touch and goal lines. Same thing. Okay. And next up, question 8. Fitzy, I think I asked you to speak on this one. We got a measly 22% on this as a group. So we do need to do better on stuff like this. Now, it could be tricky because of the camera angle, but let's have a look and explain why. Fitzy, you tell me if you want me to stop it or go back. All right, I'm gonna just go back again here. Okay, do you want to talk about anything?
Okay. Yeah, so the ball is kicked from the white side into touch in the 22, from their own 50, from inside their own half, and kicked into the 22. So you're thinking 50-22 is on, which it is. It hit something, but that's okay. As we've established. Yeah, hold it there for a second. Hold it there, please.
Yep.
It hit something on the sideline, I think.
It actually doesn't. It just bounces up. I thought it hit something too, but it just bounces up.
Okay. Well, as we know, even if it had hit something, then the quick throw is still on. And roll it on there, Karen. They take a quick throw. The ball comes in. It goes the 5 meters to another white player who touches down over the try line. So what I'm thinking here is I can see where the touch judge has his or her flag up, and obviously, or not obviously, but very clearly, the white player has taken the quick throw from beyond that mark. So as we know, the quick throw has to be taken on the mark of touch or anywhere back as far as their own goal line.
Ahead of the mark.
So they're ahead of the mark. So
they have to be at or behind.
The quick throw is not allowed. Where I suspect people got this wrong was not so much that bit, but what happens next. So the white team has taken the quick throw incorrectly, and therefore the option of the scrum or line out is given to the black team, and they're denied the opportunity to take their line out. The white team can't go back and take it.
Yeah.
So there are specific. So if you want to look at,
I have it on screen. Yeah, 18-4.
Okay.
Oh,
18-4.
We got it wrong because the free kick should have been the option.
Stop fucking talking over.
Hey, Madison.
Oh shit! Sorry.
All good. All good.
Somebody's not on. Yeah. Anyway, so there's there are different ways. The quick throw, there are things you can't do and result in a turnover option. So a line out or a scrum. There's 4 of those. You can see them on 18.4. And then there's, just to confuse things, there are ways in which a quick throw is disallowed. This is 18.5, but do not result in that option for the non-kicking team. So if you try to take a quick throw, for example, and the line out has already been formed, the referee will disallow that quick throw, but still give the throw into the line out
Right.
to the same team. And
Right.
they're all there. So 5A, 5B, 5C, they're all there. You can look at those.
Yeah.
If you committed an action on the 4A to D, then the referee should give the option to the other team of the line out or the scrum. So we just need to know it. We just need to know what those differences are and to be alive to them when they happen on the field.
Right. So why didn't I don't think I put clear? This. It is to me because you and I have spoken about it, but this 18.4a, here I wrote at the bottom option of scrum or line out. So that's sort of taken from here. So all of these are option. Now what it means is for the other team. So and a way to maybe remember this is when you're going to take a quick line out, you need to execute it perfectly. You are doing a riskier action to be rewarded by the other team not being ready. So you have to execute it perfectly. Otherwise, you're going to give up possession. So if you were thinking of a coach, you'd really want to make sure your players understand these laws, because in this case, right, they've turned a perfectly good 50-22 opportunity where they have possession close to the 5-meter line. It's like a guaranteed try down there if they can throw a ball into a line out. But instead, they've gone quick line out ahead of the mark, lost possession. So what a waste, right? So as referees, if they're going to take a quick, they've got to do it perfectly. They've got to execute it perfectly. If they don't do these things in 18.4 perfectly, they lose possession. If it's just, oh, it's a different ball, or was touched by another player, like that's out of their control if it was touched by another player, or well, not necessarily, but maybe out of their control, or there's 2 and 2. Like those are simple things. Like they didn't really do anything wrong, whereas in this case, they've done something wrong. They lose possession just from a quick throw. This is not a regular line out. Okay, so hopefully that helps. I see a lot of questions up right now. We're well over 3 minutes on this one. Mike, I think you had your hand up first, then Renee.
I was gonna say that mark doesn't look correct. I think the thrower is closer to where it actually went out, and maybe we don't get to see later. Maybe the referee goes and overrules the line for the AR and says, no, that mark was close. You were too far away and you didn't get the good mark.
Okay, I'm going to say 2 things. I'm going to give you, he might have been wrong, and an AR could have hustled a little bit more, but that was an incredibly good long kick. None of us can run that fast and be right on the mark and know, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt because we all learned something in law because of it. All right. Question 9. Okay, 71%. We're all right, but we could be better. We'll go through this real quick. Full clip. Sorry, I'm not sure. I think I want to click on this one. Yep. Bob, I think you're up to talk about this one.
Relentless at the moment.
We can watch it through first, and then we'll come back to it.
Another gear Ireland, and they found a bit of accuracy in the attack as well. It's stretching England one way and then the other, and it's forcing them into decisions. And Ireland are rampant right now.
There'll be a replay.
And Murley in a bit of a muddle once again. It's these pressure situations where you really find out what you're made of. It's a good kick. It's not a bad option for Ireland. But Murley had time to stop.
So what are we seeing there, Bob?
Okay, I struggled quite a bit with this one, but what I saw was that the player was not tackled in goal. He was not brought to the ground. So law 14.1. So I've got D for this one, that it's a 5-meter line out to green, because they pulled him into touch and there was no tackle in goal.
Yeah. Is there really tackles, like would Green have to release him? Let's say he got a knee down on the ground. Fitzy and I chatted a little bit about this.
Right.
Would you have to release him in goal?
There was no tackle, so no, we don't
But
have
you
to
know what I
release
mean?
him.
Okay, so let's think about just right there.
Right.
If this happened outside, if that action happened on this side of the in goal of the try line, what would the referee be saying to these Green players?
Release.
Right, because it is a
Tackle.
tackle.
Off his feet, yeah. Whatever.
Is there any obligation for them to release a player when they have one knee down on the ground in the in goal?
I'm guessing not.
No.
Yeah, I don't believe so. Fitzy and I were, I really don't believe so, because I think, well, no way they're going to do that. That's why we have held up in goal and all that. There's, you don't release people, you hold on to them and you try to keep that ball up. So they are under no obligation to release him. And then, we see this often in sevens where they carry a player across the touch line so that they get possession, because he's obviously still got the ball in his hands, and then he's dragged into touch. So there's nothing really dangerous or illegal about that. They've done a very smart play there, because what would have happened if he would have done just the smart thing and touched the ball down? So let's say Green's kicked it right there. He kicked it there ahead of the half.
Yeah, we'd have a goal line drop if that happened.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So these Green players, they know, oh, we can't let him get it down. Well, I mean, they could, but they don't want to. They want to get the 5-meter line out. All right. Cool. And then what we'll do is we'll just move this and we'll slide this down. Sorry, guys, it's a bit clumsy. Right. So here we go. Perfect answer. Line out Green 5-meter. Ball carrier, blah, 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 blah. So 18-8, obviously, you want to just check that out. Brammer, you're saying something here. Sorry, I've missed. There's been a few people up top here saying some stuff. I believe the tackle law only applies. Yes, and exactly, that's the point we're trying to make here. Perfect. Thank you. Ali Awada had something earlier, but I think I missed it. Someone else can read that and let me know if I need to go back to that. But yeah, we'll leave that alone. Okay.
Aaron, just on the tackle, it cannot be a tackle if it's in goal. If you look at tackle law, the principle at the very start of the tackle law says that a tackle takes place in the field of play. So it doesn't take place in goal. So therefore, even if he had got his knee, even if he had gone to ground there, it's not considered to be a tackle. So tackle law does not apply.
Thank you. I knew I had this picture in here for one reason. Perfect.
Same thing applies to a maul.
Yeah. And a rock and scrums, yeah, this is where the rugby happens. That's why there's a whole other section on in goal, because there's different laws that apply there. Cool. Okay, let me go back down to sheet 31. And here we go. All right. Let's go here. So we have some options for white and blue. 83%, we did pretty well. We'll just watch this quick and get to the law.
Here
Simple.
he is again.
Little
Keep
kick
an eye.
battle.
Puts the head down the boot all the way. He had a stinger before. Strauss.
So there was a kick
Western.
back from England, then back from France.
Here he is again. Let's keep an eye.
Behind his
Puts
22.
the head down the boot.
So he gets
all
his
the way
gaining
through that
ground,
one.
but no possession. So I had a few people early on wondering about just like, it seems simple, but good to cover that. All right. All right. So as I said, line out to blue. So the team that was receiving that kick, because the guy was behind, England was behind their 22. They can kick it straight out as long as they're behind their 22 and they didn't bring it into their 22. All right. 11. Okay, so now we're talking about credible calls. If we didn't have a TMO, what could we be okay with? What would be a credible call?
Oh, now I get it.
Ah.
On the ball.
So we can agree it's a very tight call. And as an AR, you would need to be in spectacular position to see tippy toes on or just short of the line. And I'm just going to slow this down. If you go to look at when does he offload this ball? Okay, in slow motion, you could say, okay, he's on the line. He's still got the ball. He's in touch. You could say that. But if you were looking down the touchline like an AR would be, his shoulder and his chest, his torso would probably be blocking you from seeing him with the ball. Right? So we're talking about credible calls here. So, you know, it's okay if if we're not perfect, we don't have microscopic zoom in, translucent, like you can't see through people, right? So here, I'm just saying, we've got a coach, many coaches that like to stand in the end goal, all right? This is kind of a view they would have. Can they tell? They can't tell. But would we want that AR? Mm-hmm. Yep.
What I would say to that one is actually like either decision there is credible. I probably prefer the play on decision just because if it's not clear and obvious
Yes.
that he's in touch, then you just play on. Don't guess it. If it's clearly in touch, if he's clearly got a toe on the line and you can see it, you're happy with that, fine. Put your flag up. If not, just play on.
Exactly.
And that's the principle that we would apply, all over the field. And if in doubt, and then the only other thing is, I'd say whichever your decision, just own it. Really sell the decision.
Yes.
If you want to put your flag up, put your flag up. Put your arm out, chest out. Absolutely nail the decision. Nod your head. Let everybody know that you absolutely got that right, even if you're only 50-50 in your own head. But whatever you do is, if it's clear and obvious, great. If not, probably play on.
Yeah, 100%. So the reason I put the little, I'm not sure here is because, it really could be either way. So if you're going to call it one way or the other, here's the options for both. But work hard, be in position, not look like you're focused, be focused. You're getting paid good money to be out there and make these decisions, but 100% we're going to back you if you've been working hard to get it as right as you possibly can. I would have empathy for someone having to make that call because it's a really tough call to make. It was a long kick, great work by the player to do that, and we want to reward people that are trying to keep ball in play as much as we can. Oh. Okay, 12. Carson, is Carson on the call? I can't tell. But if so, he's going to talk about this. If not, we'll see if someone else, maybe Tara, maybe Jenna. I don't know if you guys are up on your laws on this. Oh, there's Carson. Perfect. Okay, so we'll give this a roll. We'll get you guys next. Okay. Let me just grab it.
On Humber. Good job there by Humber.
We'll have a replay. So don't just think about, Carson can talk, but for everyone, don't just think about what does the law say, but think about if I'm the AR on that day, what do I need to be doing, looking at, positioned, saying? Okay, Carson, take it away.
Yeah, so White's trying to keep the ball in play from the penalty, which they're allowed to do, provided the ball doesn't cross the plane of touch. And honestly, it's kind of hard to tell in live speed, so I have some sympathy here for our game. But here on this still, you can clearly see that he's reaching behind his head to keep that ball in. So because the ball's crossed the plane, the ball's in touch, and it's a line out to blue.
Yeah, and we'll just say the player starts in touch. That's critical, okay? And then everything else what Carson says is true. So if you see body language, if we could have an AR looking and he's not bad here, but he could be better. What could we do to be better? Is be facing perpendicular to the touchline, like standing with this shoulder forward and really judging the plane of touch, right? Make it easier for yourself by being in a better position here. And then you could see, okay, player's out, ball has crossed the plane, and he's touched it. Okay, that's a flag up moment there.
I would also
Alright.
add that because it's a penalty, it's going to be a blue throw-in. But if this wasn't a penalty, it would be a throw-in to White because White's in touch, it's crossed the plane. So the kicking team has brought that into touch, and the White hasn't.
Yeah, if it wasn't a penalty,
If it wasn't
and
a penalty,
still
yeah.
if White was able to stop it before it touched the plane of touch, yes, they could play on and that, yeah. Sorry, I feel like you said something else there. I think I
I
said
was
something.
saying that ball is in touch either way, but if this wasn't a penalty, that White
Yeah.
would be throwing into the lineout.
Yeah,
Like White
yeah, if
didn't
this
take
was
that into touch just because they played it last.
correct. If it was an open play kick. Okay, great. So I think the 39% might have been a lot of people thinking, or maybe not thinking about the plane of touch, or thinking, oh no, that's still in, that sort of thing. All right, cool. That was 12, sorry. Here we go to 13. I think I talked to Steven Stuthers, if you're still on the call about this one. No stress if you're not. So I have two clips here for a reason, because one was zoomed in a little bit and we want to see what the players do.
Les Anglais qui choisissent la pénale touche. Pourquoi? Parce que il y a un bonus offensif à aller
So penalty
chercher.
kick.
Oh là 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 là.
On a pris des risques. Voilà, mais peut-être tenter de dire qu'ils sont obligés.
Ouais, ils sont des risques. Ben, il est Charles Laloy qui essaye de sauver ce ballon comme Richard a pu le voir vendredi soir à Castres pour Castres-Münster.
You're gonna see this is the outcome here.
Geoffrey Palis qui sauve cette pénale touche. Malheureusement derrière, je pense que tout le monde n'était pas prêt à le vivre et on s'est pas entendu. Du coup, c'est au lieu de défendre.
So what do we think about this AR's position?
Great.
Perfect.
What could we do to make it a little bit more perfect? He's right on the flag.
You back up just a bit.
Yeah, he should be back about 3 or 4 or 5 meters back from this, because that kick to the corner could have easily been kicked this side of the flag and gone touch and goal here, right? And then that's a completely different outcome. So be careful about being right beside a flag. That's just like we had a webinar on ARing last year with Pete and Mo leading it, right? And Pete talked a lot about this positioning, and we had this as an example there. So I'll excuse people that are new because they weren't on it, but the rest of us should know that we need to be better than that. We need to be deep when they're kicking to the corner, because I don't want to say 50% of the time, but probably 20% of the time they kick it too long. And we need to be in a credible position to make that call. And right there, he's going to be as if people are running into him. The play is coming right at him. If he was just back a bit further, he'd have better perspective for that. Okay, so we'll see. Just go one more back. So where is this pink player? He is in touch.
Du coup, c'est au lieu de
It's
défendre
crossed the plane, but he
touche,
lands in.
eh bien les Parisiens vont devoir défendre cette mêlée.
All right, so that's why he ends up. I'll just stop it there. Someone's trying to get back in. Okay, so this is where our questions were. I don't think I need to go to this one. I think I've basically covered both angles. So we do have that scrum to black on the 5 meter line in line with where the ball was touched down. It's not 5 meters in exactly because it needs to be where he touched it down. So when you go back and look at it, he's about 8 or 9 meters in. He's not just 5 meters in. So just be cautious about that. Yeah. All right. And then we covered off the jumping back in as well. All right. Just trying to see if there's anything else. No, I think we're good. Oh,
Hey,
Steven, did I steal your thunder? Yes.
Did that ball cross the plane of touch?
Yes.
But it was in because he landed inside and he didn't go out. Is that correct?
Because he landed in, we can play on. So
Okay.
he would have been good. Like, he knocked it into his own in goal. And that's why we have that scrum 5 meters, because Pink brought it into their in goal. But they could have, if he just tapped it and the other guy gathered it quickly or caught it, they could have kicked it and cleared their zone, and it would have been just play on, play on, play on.
Okay, thank you.
There, cool. All right. 14. Paco, if you're still on the call, you're going to talk about this one. All right.
Yes, here I am.
Cool. I don't know what's happening here. I'll just do this. Oh, this is another interesting one.
Dave! Hold on. Yeah, sure.
So from my point of view, when I review this video, what I understood is that he's following the same rule that we were speaking about, the 18.2, because the player jumps from inside the playing field, the playing field, catches the ball, and he sends the ball outside of the inside the field goal. So the field goal. So in the field, that's he's coming clearly from outside, from inside the field to outside. He doesn't touch the in goal. The touch area.
Yeah.
So that's clearly is a play on ball.
Good. And here we can see a little still of the AR.
Mm-hmm.
He is looking down the touch line, even though in 1 second he is trying to convince people to stay onside and retreat, because their kicker was deep in the in goal. Portugal's kicker was deep in goal. So he's trying to hold all the forwards that were involved in that line out before. And then, oh shit, there's a close touch call. His main job is touch. So he's quickly eyes up, scanning to see what's going on here to make a call or a like he's going to be doing a play on. So, he's managing that touch line still. When we talked before about people touching.
Sorry. I was going to say that also it's important to say that it doesn't matter if the ball reaches or not the plane of touch. That's very important as well in this case.
Exactly, yeah. So earlier we talked about no quick throws if somebody doesn't touch the ball. You can see here why the sidelines can be an issue. In our game, we need to get our sideline management to be better. We need to get coaches off the sideline. They need to be back, right? Players, subs, back. Medical people shouldn't be walking up and down the touch line and in the way. They can be close to one from each, 2 for a team, and they could be one near technical zone, one on the far side, but they need to be out of the way of the ARs and the players. We are going to have more and more things happening around the touch line. So we just got to be conscious. It's a little dangerous to have people there, They're not often constructive in their feedback to us, and they slow the game down. So just something to note around the people involved in the touchline. Oy. Okay, so we'll go to. Sorry.
A quick question while you're finding that, and it's about that piece you just raised. For long before I can remember, which is quite a long time ago, we've been arguing with teams, clubs, schools, Ontario Rugby, everybody, to say if the ropes aren't up, we've got a problem. But we continue to see issues with no ropes, no barriers, and to your point, there's nothing we can do about it. Zero. And we get it in the ear.
Wow.
We can send them back. Like I set the standard in high school up here, saying you're between your 10 and 22. Don't move. Don't leave that spot, and you're 3 meters back. But they're constantly encroaching on the field.
Well, keep saying that. We had given Rugby Ontario some clear guidelines about 2 or 3 years ago to get people kind of used to these again. I think COVID spoiled people, and now it seems like coaches think they need to be on the field coaching. It's like, it's not practice, it's a game. Let the captains and the players take over. So we reinstituted a reminder for them to send out to all the clubs. What I try and do when I go to clubs as a CMO, I will say to the referee, I've noticed that there's no ropes. Have you talked to anybody about that? Like make it, the referees, I'm saying to all of you right now, it is your job to make sure you check for those things and then ask someone to deal with it. They all have ropes somewhere in a garage. They do. So just get them to get it out early. Like early when you get there, go and check out the field. Is it lined properly? Are there post pads? Do they have ropes? Like, that's kind of on us to bring it to people's attention. We don't have to pay for the ropes, but we have to help enforce it. And what I do is I take a picture at a rugby club when I see good things, and I try to post it on social media. When I see bad things, I have that picture. I'm sometimes sharing that with people. Universities, I'm definitely sharing it with the OUA game director person. She sees what the sidelines look like from things I will send her if they are out of order. So in the OUA, OCAA, club rugby, wherever you guys are, if things aren't great and you've asked them to be fixed, take a picture if you like, send it to Fitzy, send it to me. We'll get it on to Rugby Ontario, and they will get a talking to about getting that sorted out before their next game. Some stuff costs money, I get it, but there's no excuse. They all have it somewhere. All right. Yeah, no hands up, I don't think. Cool. So that was 13. Where were we? 14. We've done 14. Here we go. 15. Sorry, I just lost my place there for a sec. Here we go. So again, back to what a match official's choice should be. Turn this up.
Changes. They're trying to create a maul here, hold the Irish player up and get the possession, but Gibson Park has it and will go to the air. This one's going to land inside the 22. Murray lost it, really lost it, and then decides to play it. And that got really messy from the Debutantes. And Ireland are all over England's line. Where's the ball? It's there. For England, requires a calm head, it requires a big carry, and they don't get the big carry. Ireland get the put into the scrum, and I'm not quite sure what Caden Murley was trying to do there.
We just completely lost his bearings totally. I think the problem was he's...
So you see there? So we saw that the kick was made ahead of the half.
The problem was he's touched that ball, which has meant he's had to go back.
So what does that mean? Who's brought this ball into the in goal? White. Yeah, exactly.
White. He's caught Josh Landafleer completely.
How many people thought he was in touch there over the dead ball line?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it could have been, for sure.
If there was a coach around midway, for sure they are thinking that player's gone over the dead ball line.
Off guard. I think he's put his foot here as well on the line.
Looks can be deceiving.
I'll tell you what, very close.
Can you tell what you see on that last
So we're almost there, and then Stephen, I can come to you.
Bum goes up, hinging, and you're coming back.
So White's brought it into their end goal. They've taken it out. They still have possession. They've been tackled back into their end goal. All right. Steven Stothers.
Is this
Give it a
working
whirl.
now, finally, hopefully?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Just a cue. Have we gone over the answers just yet? Sorry.
I haven't. I haven't gone to the answer page.
Amazing. So what I'll just share is, as a referee in the middle of the field or even an AR, what can we look at before that ball even hits the end goal or 22? What player can we watch? And as we watch the clip, just think about that. If we take it back to just before the initial kick, Ferg, this is something to keep in your mind for referee triggers as to what is the team trying to do or what does the team think the expected outcome will be. If you just watch the White player right here. And just ask yourself, does a player who's really confident that they didn't touch that ball pursue the ball at the same speed than a player that knows that something, or they may have brought that ball in?
Yeah, that's a good point. So, like, I'll rephrase. What's the behavior of this White 11 going to be if he doesn't touch the ball?
Exactly. Yeah.
Eric, do you know? What would this is your winger and the ball got kicked to them, and let's say they don't touch it. How are they going to react right here?
No,
I can't hear you. Can you just unmute yourself?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
He's just going to let the ball go through the end zone.
Yeah, exactly. He'd be happy to let that go because then what would happen?
Option of 22 or scrum up.
Yeah. I think our new favorite word as referee is going to be option. You might be right.
Yeah, the key piece there you had to really watch for was he touched the ball.
Yeah.
He didn't have to go after it, but touching the ball made him have to go after it.
Yeah. And tough when we don't have TMOs. Often you can sense the trajectory of the ball has changed if it's been tipped. So if you look at the flight path of a ball, if it's been kicked, you might have to just judge it right when someone puts their hand out. And in law, there's was it last played by? That's not a catch. It could be a tap down with their foot or a little bobble like that. So just be aware of that. Okay. So we've seen that. So by the end of it, right, White had possession of it. They managed to get out of their in goal, but then they brought it back into their in goal. And now we'll move on. 15, where is my lit up? Here we go. And then the answer key for 15. So as Stephen, you're about to say, we have a
ball taken into the in goal by White and then grounded by White and not turned over by Ireland, like I may have looked and saw and entered incorrectly. I'll say it. I was super convinced for everyone that's watching this that Ireland had that ball there. It's not an Ireland try. It is a
green scrum on the 5 meter line, in line with where it was touched down. Yeah. So all scrums are going to come out to the 5 meter line, but in line with wherever that ball was touched down. All right, cool. So things you want to be thinking of is like who brought that into the end goal. So you do need to know who has possession of that ball. So unless Ireland has clearly stripped it out of White hands and have sole possession of it. But if it's like shared possession, like often you'll see that sometimes where, like White had possession, Green is trying to get their hands on it, but they haven't ripped it away from the team who had it first. Then we just leave it with the team who had possession originally. Okay. Cool. 16. Okay, sorry about the handyman work here, but this is the kind of video I have to deal with. I don't know if Andrea or Kevin are on the call tonight, but if they are, I don't think Rob Leffler is, but I think they were the ARs. If they were on, they could happily speak to this. So I'm just going to back it up. So is Andrew Brewer or Kevin Noble on? Going once, going twice. Okay, so we have a referee who had been playing advantage, and they back to the original mark. Okay, so let's just think about referee management of the game. We have a quick tap. This is blue. I guess Brock is blue. Goal line decision to be made. You can see he signals held up, right? And I think that was like, what's the question here? What's his call? But this clip is here for more than just that. When you have a situation where you have advantage and you're coming back to a mark around the goal line, like, so it's got to be on the 5 meter. Try your best not to turn your back to the team that's going to be taking the quick tap. Carson, can I ask you, dealing with quick taps, when in the day should we start to think about quick taps? Unmute. There you go.
As soon as you get to the field and you're doing your team chats on your car ride to the game.
But talk to us about what to say and who you're saying it to for quick taps.
Well, the players that are probably taking the quick taps the most are your scrum halves, or it could be any player who one of the captain, one of the better players in the team, especially at some of the levels that we're refereeing at. It could be anybody, but you just want to like lay out your expectations about where you can take the tap, what my mark's going to be, how you should take that tap. Like, I want to see it clearly come out of your hands. I want it to go through the mark. I want it to be in front of me. I will point to the mark when I get to it. All those things that are important in situations like this, you want to be addressing to those key players before the game starts.
Yeah, perfect. And then if we are coming back to advantage, then we back towards where the original mark is so that we can keep the players in front of us for 2 reasons. To be ready for the quick tap, because we want to see it. What, Carson? What do we want to see with the quick tap?
We want to see it through the mark, and we want to make sure it's a kick and that it comes out of their hands, either on the ground or they drop into their foot.
Yeah. So again, we are seeing more and more of this in rugby at all levels, where they want to do some sort of fancy quick tap motion. It might be the person who originally taps it. It might be they stand there, then they run away, then someone else takes it. So we just really want to be sure we are clear with the team ahead of time so that we don't run into any surprises. On the day, nothing wrong happened. There was a tap. I know it's hard to see here. And blue takes it over the try line and is held up. Goal line drop at it, which, seems like it's simple, but it's not always that simple. But we did well on that one, 88. All right. Cool. 17. Oh, Carson, I think I have you up again, but let's have Tara, if you're able to. Maybe you could speak to this one. All right, let me play it, and then I'll stop it, and you can do some talking. Pull it up here.
Humber will
That's the
have possession
halfway
of the
line.
scrum here.
Oh, that's a good kick. First kick. Let it run.
Great kick by the Hawks player.
Okay, what do we think Carson's doing now? What's the signal mean?
His signal?
Well, what do you think Carson's about to call? I'll just play it again. Go ahead. You can talk over it.
So, I think the white guy kicks it, and then blue touches it down. And then I think for this one, I'm just referring to my notes. This is 17, right?
Yep.
So I put B. And I think that was the try line dropout.
Yeah. Formerly known as the goal line dropout, but we'll call it a try line dropout now. Yeah. So, Carson, when this happened, what were you thinking when he kicked this ball?
Well, first, I wanted to ask this question about this clip because it's something I hadn't seen or thought about. So the mark's on the 50, so White is inside. This scrum moves forward off the 50. Is the mark still like, is this inside still because of where the mark is at the scrum, or is it now where the scrum is gone and the ball?
So
just before I get into the rest of it.
Yeah. So that's what you want to be. There was probably something that happened off of the restart before this is why you have a try on the halfway line. Do you remember?
Yeah, there was a few in that game, so probably.
Okay. And Andrea, I think you have your hand up here. Did you want to talk?
Yeah, I was just going to suggest as a ref, you could say whether you're inside or outside the 50 before the scrum happens, just so that there's no confusion.
Yeah, I think Carson knows, but good for everybody to hear that, and that's important. So when you have a scrum on the halfway line, either team, they're in either half, right? So because they're going to put it in basically on the line. So, but the line is in your half. So White is putting it in their half. I see what you mean at the end of this scrum. It looks like White are all ahead of it, but I don't think the ball has ever left the half. I think it is always in White's half.
If it had, like if that scrum went another 5 meters and then it's passed inside to the 10 inside the 50, I've just never seen that happen, or if that hasn't come up for me.
Yeah.
Yet.
So if White still had possession, they went forward, so they go over the halfway line, then they pass it back into their half, then they carried it into their half.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was the mark or where the ball's gone.
Yeah, no, I would go by the ball. Yeah. So here they've always been in their half. I'm gonna say I think you were thinking, 50-22 is on, and you might even verbalize. But then when he keeps it away from the touch line, now you're thinking about the in-goal business here. So what are the questions you're asking yourself? It's like
well, in goal, it's who took the ball into goal. Like, so this is an attacking kick from White into goal. So then it comes down to how does that ball go dead? So if White had kicked that through touching goal or through the dead ball line, then we're looking at the 22 or scrum option back where the White kicked the ball. But because Blue makes this dead by grounding it, we have a goal line dropout.
Yeah. So I think the thing to be aware of is that's all great. When you get to a field, maybe you haven't been there before, you should check out how big the in goals are, because it has a huge difference. Brampton, I know, has big in goals. But what if they have a different painter someday and they make them really small, which could happen. I'm trying to think of a team like Beach. I don't know who has some short in goals around here. I can't remember. Like Queens and Guelph have not Guelph. Queens have short in goals. So you want to be really, as an AR and as a ref, conscious about if the ball is going to go dead over the line at the very end versus a team that has like a park with a big in-goal area. It's going to be a huge kick with a big wind for it to go dead. But you do need to be aware, the player here, so this 11, there's a moment there where we're concerned, does he bring it into the in-goal or does he wait and let the ball travel into the in-goal, which would be White bringing it into the end goal. So those are the things you want to be checking out. And Carson does a great job. He's on his bike, running hard, doesn't give up on it. It's close enough to make a good, credible call on that decision. Oshawa short in goals? Yeah, they do. You're right. Especially because that one end, there's a house there. That's right. Yeah. All right. So correct call here. Awesome. Let me just end that. Boom, boom. Here. There we go. 18. Oh, this was my favorite, I think.
Wilson out to Liner. Liner makes good contact with this one. He wanted to run hard right. Oh, does it find touch? There's
Mike
not
Connor,
a flag
you
up.
still
It's
on the
play
call?
on.
This one's for you.
The kick comes back downtown. Oh, we look to have almost nailed the 50-22 there on that right-hand touch line. And that's where we go now, where Justin Harrison and Michael Hooper are standing by.
There you go, Mike. Is that the picture you were looking for?
Sure. It's a good one.
Ball is resetting the clock, second half.
Well, maybe just go back to it. Replay. I don't know. I've missed it somewhere here. Anyway, we'll play it again. Let's see where the AR is positioned, if we can see them on this replay here. Look at that. That is very good, right in line, because he knows that other team is going for a what? 50-22, right? I think they kicked it behind. Yeah.
Yep.
So he is working hard to keep that in, because he knows he's giving up territory and possession if he lets that. Look at that work. I love it. So AR not freaking out running. I mean, you can't, he's a long way away still, but he's in a very credible position to see that he's not touching the line and he's moved the ball in air. So that's fine. Boom. So here we have the law around that. But the question was more about what do we do as an AR here? So we want to be leaving that flag down and really like flag down. Once you're sure, look towards the ref, maybe make some eye contact, play on, or play. And then continue to move with play as there's a counter attack and a counter kick that happens right after that as well. So, and then here's the law that supports that. If a player jumps from the playing area, knocks, catches and releases the ball back in the playing area before landing in touch or touch and goal, regardless of whether the ball has reached the plane of touch. Like, this is the big change that they made in rugby, right? And I remember Mo, when we had this little webinar last year, he said, like, this is the think basketball moment. This is a typical basketball play when the ball looks like it's being thrown out of bounds and the players run and scoop and throw the ball and land in the front row of the crowd and they play on. That's exactly what this is here. And that's a total play on here. All right. Cool. 19. We're getting closer, folks. How are we doing? Oh, I don't know if we'll make it. Sorry.
Being presented there for Dupré. LeBron fires it straight into the
So
black.
every time I'm going to be thinking, where is this kick being taken from? And then where does it end up?
Being presented there for Dupré.
Ahead of his 22,
fires
ahead of
it
his
straight
half,
into the
sorry.
plastic. And that was an awkward bounce for
Now this winger, like Steven Stuthers mentioned before, he's not freaking out because he hasn't touched it. He's hoping that this goes where? The ball's rolling.
Yeah.
Where does he want it to end up?
Over the touch and goal or over the dead ball line.
Yes.
Fergus Burt.
And he gets his wish.
And in the end,
And this guy's
it's gone
pissed. That's
dead,
why he
so
kicks
it's
the ball
worked
away.
rather well for Saracens.
Those are some of the key intricacies, I
We'll
think,
see it
playing
reverse
here at
angle here.
StoneX. I think with the artificial surface, it doesn't roll at the same cadence that a traditional sort of soft turf pitch would do. So you see Saracens have a very good understanding of it, or allow it to, and the differential between
Can we
that
see
being a
the
line
AR?
out.
See the AR, good scan. I mean, it's a long kick. It was kicked from just inside the half.
And now being able to
And you see how he swerves out? Because he's trying to see, does this ball come in here?
30 meters up the pitch is monumental. The standing of it, or allow it to, and the differential between that being a line out and now being able to scrum 30 meters up the
Because
pitch
he's got to make a
is
call. Does it come
monumental.
on this
So
side of the post or the other side of the post? Which makes a huge difference. All right. So I'm sorry, I missed to see how did we do on the number?
86.
Oh, 82.
82, sorry.
Yeah, so not too bad. Yeah. And we're going to see a run of these, several examples, so I'll probably just go him quickly. Steven, to the dead ball line kind of idea. Yeah.
Just a player coming in from the player wearing black there. Does he like actively pursuing versus shepherding
Yeah,
the ball out?
Yeah.
At a trigger for the referee as you're watching, kind of idea.
Yeah. So as maybe in the next one, we'll talk about what the AR can do after they see the ball. Okay, so let's look at that in this one. Maybe someone who hasn't spoken before. Maybe one of the ladies could jump in if possible. All right.
Many statistical categories that he isn't in the top 3.
So here we have a referee. They're gonna go quick. So we saw a good tap there, right? Let's just double check. Referee sees it. Oh, maybe he wasn't paying attention, but
penalty
you know.
there to Castra.
Carson,
Dubret.
you can give him a lesson.
Well, that's one to chase. Shagun is well, going. Oh, and he nearly got caught out there, did Rotimi Shagun. Well, penalty there to Castra. Dubret.
What do we want?
Well,
the
that's
AR
one
to
to
be
chase.
doing?
Shagun is.
What can the AR do to support the referee right there?
Well, go.
Any thoughts?
Flag up.
Flag up.
Flag up. Yes, thank you.
Or if it's not, play on then. One of the two.
Yeah, right. But it touches, I mean, we can see it here, that it touches the touch and goal.
Castra. Dubret. Well, that's one to chase. Shagun is.
So just like we asked, like in that last one, we saw the AR flare out a little bit. It would have helped this referee, this AR, if they would have flared out a little bit to see past. If they're not sure. It's a long kick again. These are tough. These aren't easy. But hey, that's why we get paid the big bucks. $45 to AR, a senior men's and women's game. That's a lot of money. We got to earn it. So if we could have done a flag up.
Well, going. Oh, and he nearly.
And what else? We talked before about somebody knowing where the mark was, right? So I think, yeah, look at Scott. That's it, Scott. Love it. Love it. The flag up and pointing back to where they kicked it from. Or they could have the 22 dropout as well. But we want ARs to be communicating. The flag isn't, like we need to know how to use our body, our voice, and the flag, not just one thing, or in this case, nothing, right? We want to be very, very supportive.
He got caught out there, did Rotimi Shagun. Was out or not? Well, Shagun thinks it went out.
So I think in this game, if they didn't have a TMO, they might have been in trouble.
Line. Oh, we need to look at this. So do you want the scramble line? Oh, it did. It's out. Shagun was correct.
He knew. The calmest man in the stadium, I think.
All right. Boom. Who else do we have here? Tiff, are you familiar with this law?
After multiple questions, I became very familiar with it.
All right, I'll just.
Yeah, I wasn't before the quiz, but this was definitely needed and worthwhile.
No stress. Yeah. So we'll post here. This is what the question was phrased as: what do we want the AR to do? This is what we want the AR to do. And then here's the law. So kick through the dead ball line, from the field of play, and touch and goal, or over the dead ball line, defending team chooses. So they have either. So this is again where we throw out that option. All right. Cool. Option and point. For AR, you would be in a great position to hold the mark. So you could be telling the referee, I have the mark. And then that referee, the other AR, the close AR, can just focus on what's going on where the kick ends. Because that was a contest for a try and a close touch and goal call, right? So we need to let that person focus on where the ball is going, and the trailing AR can be focused on holding that mark. Righto. 21. Oh, what's happened here? Hang on. Okay, I'm going to back this up a little bit again and close a few of these. Boom. Sorry, I'll fix that. Just give me 1 sec. We'll go back. Somehow I've thrown my screen off. Oh, I know why, because it's theater mode. Okay, we'll go again. I think it'll play in slow motion, so it'll be easier to see where it ends up. But I'll just say, like, it ends up in touch and goal, the same as the very last one that we watched. It's just the opposite side of the field. So this is more about, like, us helping each other. So if we're the person on the day in the middle, it'd be great. And this is why we've done this exercise, is to get people to know their law more. Because kick through touch and goal to make it dead, like we've said a couple times, is not a goal line dropout. But if you don't know that, boy, does it ever feel great to have an AR just give you that quick flag up, it's in touch, and back to the mark. So, and then you could say option. So then the referee would then kind of, oh yeah, they have an option of scrum where the kick was taken or 22-meter dropout. Now, in this case, they take a 22-meter drop. But if it was going to be a scrum, where would they have the scrum? We'll go back to where the kick was. Right around there. Boom. Kicks it. Where would the scrum be?
Where the kick was.
Yeah, but
5 meters in.
Yeah, so he can't have it so close to the touchline because he was hugging the touchline when he kicked it. So it's 5 meters in, because that is on one of my screens up earlier in the scrum zone. So from the pictures from the start, it's in 5 meters from touch and in 5 meters from the try lines. Okay.
So Karen, in that one, that's me. I'm the AR on the far sideline. I was trying to indicate that it was touch and goal by pointing towards the end goal, which is not what I should have been doing to help my referee. I did indicate that it was in touch. I should have been pointing back towards where it was kicked.
Yes.
So I didn't help my referee there.
Well, you did. You did in the end.
Yeah, we got the right call.
Yeah.
I indicated it was touch and goal and pointed to in goal. That's not where it's pointed out, and that's not where I should have been pointing.
Right. And you know, this reminds me, like when Remy, I don't know if you're still on here, but the question you had earlier about, well, maybe we just call it this way and they don't understand. But I just like this, like I want people to know what the law is and to call it right. It's not like we need to make a decision on these. So I'd rather us have the right decision than get it wrong in law. And then there's 30 players and 2 or 4 coaches that think the law is one way when it's really another way. So I would just try to encourage us to know the law and then implement the law correctly so that we can quickly get the game restarted properly. All right, cool. That was that
Quick question,
one.
Karen, if I can.
Yeah.
Let's say you're not mic'd, and let's say the ref unfortunately goes with their initial decision, but the AR knows it should have been an option, but you're not mic'd, and you're not getting that communication across. Like, what do you do in that case?
How noisy is it? Like if you said, Scott, and he looked at you, could you tell him what it is? But if it's like really noisy and you know that if I have to say his name more than once and make him look like, I don't want to say like an idiot, but you're going to make them look bad, then I think we got to live with it. But if usually a ref will glance over, like an unsure ref will look at the assistant ref. If you say their name, because every other player out there calls the ref or sir or miss. I think if you say the name of the ref and then they can hear you, if you say it once, then you could say option and give them that information. I wouldn't shout it and scream it and say it over and over again like you're accusing them of getting it wrong. Does that make sense? Like there's a certain time when you got to let it go because you don't want to embarrass them. But in that case, you could see that the referee was kind of hesitant and he stopped and he was looking to John for help. And you know, it was a big first game for him at that level. You know, we try our best to give referees a positive shoulder to lean on when they need it, when they kind of go up a level, when they have, like a game like that, we try to help them out, but you don't always get that nice shoulder to lean on. I know that's not a straight black or white answer, but.
Yeah, it was just more to clarify. And I get like you kind of want to feel the scene out and make sure that you're being respectful and showing respect. I just wanted to know to what end do you want to share that information? And as you've explained, you have to make a good decision that's going to make everyone look competent.
Yeah. And it's okay if we make mistakes. Like, I'll tell you, right? When we go to watch referees, we see, hundreds of mistakes in a season, and we don't interrupt, and the game continues, and life goes on. And most times people are unaware that there was a mistake made in law, and that's okay. But then afterwards, we do want to learn from it. So when I and other coaches here, when they reach out to the referees and try to get people to review video, we are looking for referees to learn on their own and not to just assume they've done everything right. And lots of times, like when we've I think in that game earlier with Rob Leffler, like I gave him feedback, and sometimes I will share it with the ARs if there are things for an AR to learn. And all of our coaches do that sort of thing to try to help everybody learn. We live with mistakes sometimes, and often the players don't know it. But if it was like a critical call, this call is going to determine the outcome of the game, it's late in the game, like you'd want to get their attention once. But if they don't want to have it, don't dwell on it. Like, I think we have to let it go at a certain point. I think most people will look. If they're unsure, they'll look to the AR. But because we've all been there. We've all, even in this law test, right? Like we were all like second guessing some of the things, and we've had a week to go through them. No time at all. All right. Are we at 22? Yeah. Okay.
Here's Lazowski. Ball being lost forward. It's gone to Lebrun. And Lebrun fires it into the plastic and sets up the line.
So, who brought this ball into this half?
Once more. Here's Lazowski. Ball being lost forward. It's gone to Lebrun. And Lebrun.
Is the 50-22 on is the question we need to answer.
Yes, Yay. The 50-22 would be on.
Excellent. Good. We can move on. Yeah, perfect. All right. So as an AR, we want to be putting that flag up. It's in touch. And then get that signal to the kicking team right away. And then be aware, there could be a quick line out like we saw earlier in that NOLA Seattle game. So never switch off as an AR, but the more confident you are being aware of who brought it into the half, then okay, yes, brought it in, kicked by them, flag up. And if you want to say to the referee, 50-22, just to confirm, often we want the ref to be saying, 50-22 is on as soon as they see that it's on, meaning the other team brought it in. But sometimes we have to, help. That's what the assistant referee means. We help them. All right. Cool. Done it again. This one's just a little bit longer because there's a bit of context to it.
No, let him. So where's your back foot? There. Back was my right. Advantage, no one's taken. Still advantage.
advantage is over. Clear opportunity. The advantage is over. You got a clear break, clear opportunity.
Eric Federley, do you want to talk about this one?
So from head, there is no knock-on. It was with head and then kick by Argentina. So goal and drop out. Time off, player injured.
I think that they
No.
take it in.
It's a kick by your players.
No, it's number one.
No. It was confirmed.
Okay.
It was
I
with
just
the
like to
head by
have
back
this.
there, and then there is a
Yeah.
kick by Argentina.
Is it finished?
Yeah, now we're good. All right. You want me to zip it back to anything?
No, just the
Go ahead and talk.
interesting piece there. You just had to pay attention, depending on the angle. You weren't sure who kicked it, how the ball got in, but it was actually kicked in, or grubbered, if you want to call it, by White. So Black touching the ball down in goal makes it a goal line drop.
Excellent. Yeah. And that it's good. The reason it was good to add that one is a lot of things. If you look at that whole clip, you see the referees having to make lots of decisions around, because there was another kick earlier where you're like, oh, the 50-22 could be on here. Like, who brought it into what half, that sort of thing. There was 2 chop tackles he's playing advantage for. Then they make a clear break. He's got to decide his advantage over or not. Like a lot of things going on. And then a ball off the head. Is the ball off the head? What does that mean? Play on. That's a nothing. So, he's making, 12 to 15 decisions there in about 25 seconds of incredible rugby. And in the end, it's just a goal line dropout. So that was, a good response from everybody to know that. But I think I put that in there because there was lots of things to learn from in there.
It's a good clip. It's a good clip because that happens so often. There's so many things in about 30 seconds that you have to make decisions on, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's why we love rugby. And then there was one thing just around what a kick is. And it's like anything below the knee, like, so not including the knee, but below the knee. So a fly, I call it like a fly hack off the shin, that still counts as a kick. All right. Cool. And look at, we're getting so close, guys. Oh, sorry. Let me just move that up here. Oh, this is easy. So simple. Held up. What's our call? Scott Henry.
Yes.
Held up. What do we do after held up?
Held up. We're back to a what do we got here? Try line dropout.
Bingo. There you go. We'll just move this down. Where am I? Sorry. There we go. Winner, chicken dinner. Okay. 25. Oh, yes. You think simple. What are our options after a missed penalty goal? So let's say that landed in, or there were like deeper in goals, okay? That's really what that question's about. Tiff, what do you think?
I don't remember what I answered for this, but I know I got it wrong.
Hey, we all learned, honest to God, like at least I'm glad we put this in then, So here
Yeah,
we go.
so like I remember coming to the conclusion that it should probably be a 22-meter dropout, like my rationale. But then in the brackets, all the other descriptions of like, well, if this happens or if that happens, totally threw me off.
Yeah.
Um,
Alrighty. So Fitzy, are you still on the call?
I can go, Karen.
Okay, I
Yes,
can't tell who's
dear.
talking, but go ahead. No, whoever was speaking there first. Sorry, I just can't tell who's talking.
It's Jess.
Hey, go ahead. Perfect. Thanks.
So if the attempt at goal doesn't go in, or it doesn't go out the back or the touch in goal, there's the option of playing it, so the players that are waiting under the net can catch it and go. So that's absolutely allowed. The other thing that could happen is they kick it into in goal and the receiving team decides to ground it, so make it dead, in which it has been brought in by the other team and grounded by them. So that's the other option, the 22-meter drop. And then the last option is if it goes straight out the back of the in goal or the deadline, which is when we would have the 22-meter drop. So there's a couple things that could happen depending on if the ball goes out the back or does not go out the back.
Yay! Yeah, I know. All of these options are correct in law. So in the video, the one that we saw was the ball went dead without it being touched. So there's a short in goal. It didn't like land the in goal. It actually cleared the side of the outside of the post and went dead on its own. 22-meter dropout. But if we have bigger in goals, which we have a mix, these are more likely. So the team that's been kicked to, if they make it dead, so that means they just touch it down, and they don't even have to have possession of it. If the ball is laying on the ground, they could just touch it on the top, and that's gonna be okay. That's dead. What?
And you could also hit it if it plays off a post, or play it if it hits off a post.
Yes, yeah, and that's true. But I think all of mine were if it goes into in goal in this question. But you're right. If it stays in the field of play, it would just be play on. And then what if kickers?
Also,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Just saying, if it bounces back into the field of play off of a post, player can also call a mark.
It's an interesting call, and I would have thought you're crazy, but I'm pretty sure you're right. I think I've read that somewhere.
Well,
in law.
But, not if it's a kick at goal, not if it's
Just
a penalty
if it's
kick.
What?
You can't call a mark off a penalty kick at goal.
Oh, just an open play kick.
If it's a kick and open play that comes off the post, then yes, before it hits the ground, you can call a mark, but not if it's a penalty shot.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So that would be so it would be just a.
Let's just pause for a second. Let's just pause for a second. Stevens wants to talk here. Go ahead.
You most definitely can take a mark off of a missed attempt at goal, provided the
penalty?
Ball is off of the penalty. This came up at the U19s over the summer. British Columbia was a huge fan of it, and all of a sudden, every other team at the tournament started doing it. So a missed shot at goal, a mark can be called and taken from off any penalty kick.
Okay.
Unless I was missing that.
I thought so when Scott first said it. I thought, that's right. But
I'm gonna get Rebecca and Chris Edge to back me up here because I may have been misremembering that, but because they were there as well, and it threw us off. And this is a referee team 16, it threw all of us off.
So do me a favor. We're gonna Emmanuel has his hand up and wants to talk, I think, as well. Pull it up in law just so we can make sure that we prove our case. We're here to defend the law as amateur lawyers. So let's make sure we have some evidence to defend the law. Emmanuel, I think you were looking to say something.
No, I would just agree with Steven. I think that's what Steven is saying is absolutely correct. But
yeah. If you want to be a partner at his law firm, you too can dig into your law.
Yeah.
I love it.
One of my kind associates, Paul Kelly, has found the correct section in law that he can either share or I will share on his behalf. But Paul Kelly has found the correct number.
Okay, go ahead. You can paste it in here too if you like. But there we go.
Yeah. So law 17.4 says a mark may not be claimed from a kickoff or a restart kick after a score, but there is no mention of a drop goal attempt or a kick at goal.
And I can clarify and back up SSR on this one with this was actually something that happened at CRCs. I was there as well. And this was a call that was made at that tournament.
And it was a call that I got wrong on the day the first time and then corrected
you guys, I don't care about your experiences. I care about what the law says.
I'm happy to concede defeat on this one. Yeah, I'm glad, I'm glad that I've highlighted a point in law that we're not all sure on. So you're welcome, everyone.
And this is exactly what I was expecting to get to at some point. And the point is, you need to defend yourself with the law. So here,
It's sworn.
Yeah.
does it say? It doesn't. Does it say anything here? So just when it says this, so Fitzy, the way you were describing things before is if it doesn't say it, then it's okay. So here it's saying the only times it can't be claimed is off a kickoff or a restart. It doesn't say the word only, but the fact that it's saying it can't be claimed from a kickoff or restart means it is the only. They would say other options that weren't allowed. So we can assume that it's right.
So,
all right,
Scott,
cool.
I apologize, Scott. You were right. I was wrong. There you go.
The video at 17.2 shows a Japanese player kicking at goal.
Uh-huh.
And it bouncing back into the field of play and somebody calling mark.
Perfect. Thank you for that, James. That's good. Yes. You don't have to just use the videos I've clipped. My God, World Rugby has 18 dozen of them in here for you all to go through. All right. Next one and the last one. Steven.
Hey, I'm back. Hi, everyone.
Oh, if I could click on it.
Before the clip plays.
Okay, let me pause.
The question we have for everyone, which we've actually covered tonight, what prevents a quick lineup from being taken is the first thing to think about. We talked about this already, but just the review. Kind of new ball, touched by someone, lineup's formed, or in front of the mark, like we talked about before. And now the question becomes, as we watch this clip, do we see any of these things occur? And then we'll go from there.
Stay balanced.
I think in the angle I sent you guys, it showed that this scrum was set up very deep, like a 5-meter scrum. So just so you know, that's where they started from, the 5-meter.
Keep going, let him out. H, let him out, thank you. Stop behind, wait in front.
Now the fact that he runs behind the flag is the clue. There we go.
Very nice. Yeah,
so
the question became, did we see any of those 3 reasons why we have to prevent a quick lineout? We didn't, so we're play on. And then just from an AR side of things.
Play on!
Yeah, then as an AR, obviously ways you can help here, being in a credible position, stationary or infield if you need to be, based on the angles we've discussed tonight. Again, you can help by saying play or just making eye contact as you're running along in the field, because referees going to look to you as an AR in this situation as well. And can really, really important points for this as the AR is always having your eyes on the ball, because this ball goes out. We'll let it play through. The ball goes out, and if we are not cued into where that ball is or what's happened, it can make things a little bit challenging for everyone. So AR here was trailing, eyes on, no issues with the throw. It's backwards. It's gone 5. The ball has not been made dead by any way. We are happy to play on.
So what right now do you want an AR to be thinking and ready to say?
Play, play, play.
Yeah. So everybody that's going to AR next year, that's what we would be looking for there. All right. Andrea, go ahead.
Sorry, completely random question. You had mentioned that the player ran like kind of around the flag. So that's technically they've brought it into their own end. If the receiving player then had kicked it, because now they're within their own 50 and it went into, could a 50-22 be on, is my question, if that player right there kicked it?
Of course. Amazing question. I love it. Hey, Andrea, you just won yourself a whistle, which I gave to you a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago.
Amazing.
That's a great question.
So let's watch it again. So let's watch this again. So where does the ball go into touch? In this half. Okay, it's crossed the plane of touch in this half. And then the blue 15 picks it up, runs into his own half. Is a 50-22 on if this guy wants to kick the ball? No, it is not. Jenna, why is it not?
Because he ran it back into his own end, even though he was out of bounds when he did it, he still did it.
Yes! Amazing. All right. See, that's a good one to end on. Great work, everyone.
And just an extension of that, Karen, would be if it was taken, if the mark was outside the 22 for a line out for a touch, and a quick throw was taken back inside their own 22, then any kick directly into touch would have no gaining ground in that situation because they'd be deemed to have taken it back into their own 22. So it's like the extension of the same.
Does everybody understand that? If not, raise your hands quick.
No.
But I think that's a good one. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, let me just go back here. All right, so boom, 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 boom. We had a play on. Hey guys, thanks for playing along. That was fun. And just a reminder, hey, like we are athletes, we are law students, we have empathy. We want people to trust us because we're trustworthy, not just because we want to fake it. We want to be trustworthy, but we, in the end, are the judge of what's going on out there. But let's make the game look and sound good, all right, and have some fun and be some entertaining conductor of the orchestra. Okay, now this is your time. Now I haven't been paying attention to what's in the chat, so if there's any burning questions that are in there that we need to circle back to, we can. Or if there's, and then we'll finish off with like touch and kicks and blah blah blah. And then if there's anything that's different than that, we will we'll get to that. Okay, so any questions?
But
Sorry,
Karen, just to thank you for I know a huge amount of work and time goes into preparing these quizzes and these seminars. So thanks to you for your hard work in that regard.
Yeah. Hey, I'll keep asking. When I send referees and when other coaches send referees like a link to the video, and we don't have to send it to you, you can often find these things online. And I say to you, any interesting, and I know all of you have received these kind of questions, anything interesting happen in your game that you or others could learn from? This is why. So then I don't have to search for them all. So can we all just, going forward, can we all look for things together and, send me a link. Hey, at 15 minutes in this game, there was a tricky one, might be good for others to learn from. Now I think you can all see the benefit of having that stuff. So great, but I need everyone's help in this. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, now questions?
Are you going to share this presentation? I see it in the chat room.
This PowerPoint presentation, yes, to those people who have finished their exam. So if people haven't sent in their quiz, I'm not going to give them this until they do their quiz. All right. I think that's fair.
I have a random question. Does it matter which hand you hold your flag?
Well, think about what you got to do with your other arm.
So, and I get that. I'm just wondering if in general, when you're up and down the sideline, if it matters.
So Paul Kelly, let's have you answer this one.
Yeah, this was a really good trick. I think Dale Hall taught me at Ontario Summer Games. Yep, Steven's agreeing that I think he learned it from him too. So short answer, no, it doesn't matter. Just put the flag up in the air and point to the right team. However, sometimes when I was starting ARing, I would know, hey, we're in touch. And I'm like, oh shit, who actually had the ball? I don't remember. So then Dale basically told me, when you're facing the field from your touch line, you should hold your flag in the hand that is the team with possession. So if I'm standing here and this team is attacking this way, this side holds my flag. Because if this team takes the ball out, it would be flag up, and I already know that this hand is free to point to the team throwing in, right? And so as I'm ARing, I'm constantly thinking, okay, blue has ball, blue, oh, turnover, now white has ball, transition, and then I'm running. And then as soon as I'm, squatting down that touch line, I'm flag up, hands out. I don't have to think about it. Those are some higher level ARing kind of things, but honestly, it made me so much of a better AR. It was a bit awkward at first, but like anything, you get used to it, and now it's automatic for me.
That's a great trick. Thank you.